All right. Good morning, everyone. Today is Wednesday, June 25th, 2025. I am Eric Feaster, Professional Development Coordinator for the Southern Maryland Regional Office, Maryland Department of Health's Developmental Disabilities Administration. We welcome you to today's Let's Talk Tech webinar. So, we will slide. All right. If you would like to use closed captioning so you can read what is being said, click this button. Sometimes the transcription is not exact, but it's pretty close where the yellow arrow is. All right. Today's presentation is available in the handout section. Click here where you see the paperclip to download the presentation's slide deck. The webinar is also being recorded and will be made available tomorrow on the DDA YouTube channel under the DDA Medicaid Waiver Amendments 2025 playlist. The presentation slides and webinar recordings will be available on the DDA Waiver Program website tomorrow as well. All attendees are currently in listen-only mode and your mics and cameras are turned off. If you have a question you would like us to read and answer, click here where you see the question mark to add your question. And now I'd like to turn the mic over to Stephanie Jones, our DDA Director of Innovation. How are you doing today, Stephanie?
I'm doing well, Eric. Thank you so much for all of that. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us today for our List to Talk Tech CCSs. I want to welcome all of you, and even those of you who are not currently CCSs. I would want to say thank you first for all you do. I have been a case manager for some time, so I know that all that you do is sometimes not you're not told enough how much we appreciate you. So our presentation today is going to help your job be a little bit easier in developing your plans. I know lately you've been getting a lot of requests for assistive technology, remote supports, and those type of things. So I'm going to introduce you to an expert who's going to kind of walk us through. We want you to use the question box not only for questions, but this is going to be an interactive presentation. So please interact as much as possible. Um, and as well as feel free to ask questions that we will address during this time. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce you to Precious Myers Brown, the Chief Innovation and Dream Officer and CEO of Vista Supports LLC. Precious?
Hey, good morning. It's still morning. Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much, Stephanie, and thank you for DDA for having me here today and for the opportunity to speak to you today. I, as well, was a former support coordinator, service coordinator, Medicaid service coordinator, case manager. Basically, I know what it is that you do, and that's why I appreciate it, and that's why I wanted to participate in this training today, which I really don't even like the word training, but in this discussion where we can talk about how we can do better or how can we utilize tools and resources to be able to better support, serve, and coordinate care for the folks that are on our caseloads. But more importantly, what are we doing? We're helping people live their best life. So before I get going, I just wanted to also give some backdrop to who I am. Eric, leave it there. The backdrop to who I am. I've been in the field for 36 years. I started as a DSP. I'm born and raised in New York, and so that's where a majority of my beginnings and foundational learning about the IDD field came from. So working with people who have been institutionalized, who have previous institutionalization, people that lived in the community, people with mental health, homeless, youth with disabilities, foster care, youth therapeutic foster care systems, and return to society citizens. So I have a full-fledged range, but my passion and my joy comes from working with people with IDD and seniors, because we all hope to be a senior one day. So my passion in that is more an investment into a future that can be ready for us when we get there as well. So for me, I worked in many different levels of organizations, small, large, from the very, very tiny mom and pop to, 50, $60 million revenue organizations supporting people in various levels, from supportive living to group home settings, large group home settings, ICF settings, the medical model type homes, and I work across the nation. So right now I am the founder and CEO, but I like better Chief Innovation and Dream Officer, because that's really what I'm doing. I'm innovating and I'm a dream technologist. So I'm bringing innovation, technology, innovative solutions. I'm standing in the gap. I'm bridging the digital divide so that the people we support, the people who would normally be left out of the equation, have access to resources and technology and innovative solutions to think about, so that they can live their best life. Not only that, so that our community can be whole. So these are the important things that I bring to the table and hope to be able to share and walk with you. Now, let me tell you something. Now we got that out of the way. I'm not talking at you today. Yes, I know you're muted. Yes, I know your camera's not on. But this question box is lit. I'm going to ask you to engage. I'm going to ask you to put some things in the chat. It's not going to be some big, there's no essay question. We're not doing SAT. We're not doing essay question. There's no dissertation. But I'm going to actually keep you engaged there. That way I know that you're with me. I know that we're on the same page. I know that you're catching what I'm putting down. Okay? So if everybody hasn't found it yet, there's a question box, and in it says submit a question. That's where, if I say put it in the question box, that's where I want you to put it in. We cool with that? So if everybody knows what I'm talking about, give me a 1 in the question box. Next slide, Eric. Okay. Okay, I see you, Kareem, Paulette, Shelley, Timothy, Olivia, Simone, Ada. Okay, now I know we cooking with grease. That's how I like to cook. Cooking with grease and bacon grease. Drippings of bacon grease. That's in there too. Or if you want to do the turkey bacon, I don't know how you're gonna get the drippings, but either way, let's roll. So my mission today is to empower tech forward transformation. Now, I know sometimes as service coordinators, as support coordinators, as case managers, as people who are doing the person centered planning template, you're planning care models around a person's needs, that you tend to focus on a lot of rules. You want to know, how do I do it? Well, what's the steps? One, two, three. That's what I want to know. No, I want to empower you to think tech forward. And there's a big difference than just me giving you a bunch of rules to do versus you understanding how to utilize the tools that you have and think through these problems, so that way you know how to deal with those very specific, very individualized, very person centered cases that should be coming across your table. Everybody shouldn't have a template. They shouldn't have a cookie cutter plan. That just doesn't work. That's the reason why we like to teach. We like to teach tech forward thinking, bring you in a different paradigm shift, so that you can start learning how to process through this situation and approach technology as a solution rather than as something on a checkbox. And remember, my message to you as a, case manager at heart, I also say I'm a QIDP or QDDP, or we don't say the other one anymore. That's how long I've been in the field. But I always say that I am hurt for life. I am forever trying to find ways to help people and my community members to live their best life. And now more than ever, we need to make sure that we're thinking more innovatively to make sure that everybody is included as we go through some very hard times in the world, challenging times with rate structures and service availability and providers that are ready for the world. but that we are equipping ourselves to be able to bring people along the way. We don't want anyone left behind, and we definitely don't want to be the person that failed to write that into their plan so that they can be included and at the table. Because you are just not managing cases, you are creating future. You are future builders. Now, if you're a future builder, give me a two in the question box. I need a two. I need a two if you are a future builder, because there's no, we're not going back. We definitely not going back. But next slide, Eric. All right, I see my future builders coming in. Michelle, Paulette, Lisa, Ada, Alice. Who are the Shanti? I see my future builders. Okay, good. So at least we know. Okay, Stacey Harris. At least we know that we amongst similar people. You are my tribe. Then again, more to that. When I'm talking to you, just and I'm gonna keep trying to use my Eastern Standard speech because sometimes when I get excited, I told you I'm a native New Yorker. I can't control it, but I'm gonna try to use my Universal Eastern Standard speech so that everybody can understand me. But if I get too excited, just put a hold up, Precious, in the question box. Just say hold up, Precious, hold up. You're going, you're too far. But we family. So we are family. We're sitting at the family table. We're just having a discussion. We're just learning how to improve ourselves as a family, as a community. This is not me being a trainer and you a student. Oh, Paulette said, take a breath. Okay, thanks, cuz. So what I want to talk about is what does it mean to be, before we get into the nitty gritty, I just need to understand that where we are. So Maryland, since 2022, has been a tech first state. Tech first state. Now, a lot of people that may mean something or another, but it really means that we see technology as a first step solution to helping people be empowered towards their independence and living their best life. That's really the essential pieces of that. That means technology should be offered as a solution. So if we're case managers in a tech first jurisdiction or designation or state, that means that we come to the table with those questions already. How can technology be utilized to help this person be as independent as possible or help them in their journey towards independence without having to fully rely on someone else to do it for them? That's what that means. So that means, and it always meant that way. Actually, to tell you the truth, it meant that for a very, very long time, way before we were using tech first as a title. Think about people who um, utilize, just say, low tech, such as Braille. So if somebody was had a visual disability or blind, then maybe they might have been taught or utilized Braille to read. That's low tech. It's a technology solution meant to give the person first in empowerment in their lives. So instead of waiting for me to tell you what it says, that you yourself can touch, feel the braille that's in the elevator, you can read the book, you can read the manual, you can participate in your education without having to rely on me, a second person, to explain it to you. So you are learning right along the same pathway as your neighbor, as your friend, as your peer in school. You're able to get on an elevator, choose your floor that you want to go to, or engage in your community without having to rely on someone else. You know what else is low tech? My eyeglasses. Eyeglasses is another form of technology. Somebody went to a lab and figured out how to correct vision by putting on eyeglasses so that I can see what is in front of me, read it, and participate in my life and my environment. I'm not relying on someone else to read it for me and tell me what it says. Sometimes I do that though, I'm not gonna lie, because I'm wearing the old glasses right now. This is me truth telling for you. And I still can't see. So when we get to the restaurant, I have to ask my husband, what does it say? But that's by choice. That's by my own personal laziness. That's not because the technology lacks. So we already been a tech first lifestyle. It's now being said that we're tech first so that we now remember to include it as part of our planning processes. And you, as a case manager, as a coordinator of service, I understand that there's some people who have not yet become, but anyway, as someone who's helping someone plan their best life, you're on the front line of that innovation. You are the front line. So that means when they see you coming, they should see tech first coming too. Give me a 3 in the question box if that's resonating, if that all is making sense, so I know where we are. Give me a 3. I need everybody. How's my pace? Paulette. I breathe. Am I working it out now? I'm good. She said good. I love my cousins. Okay. Tech first is not a last resort. It's a first consideration. So, just a quick example more about how I might approach it now. So, if I see someone who has an who is utilizing a gait belt, that's the belt that they put around someone who has an unsteady balance gait, and they someone would hold that gait belt to help them to stay on their feet. But imagine that if I found you a AI assisted gait belt that goes around their waist and then auto corrects them and even nudges them that they're leaning over. Now only they can feel it, only they know it's there, unless they're wearing it over their clothes. But then I could then say, and how about instead of, or we transition over, because everything is not, it's not like this. That's not what we do. We never did that anyway. We have steps to transition into goals and get people to a level of independence, or we titrate back. So imagine if I put that AI assisted automated gait belt on their waist. That means that they can walk beside me without everybody looking at me hold on to their belt. Imagine if I did that. So if I am considering tech first, then I might say, maybe this person could benefit because I see them utilizing the gait belt because they walked in with the staff beside them. Utilize this, that way they learn when they are leaning further to one side and start to learn something about themselves and their need for assistance, and when they need to self-correct if they still have those ability to do so, but also that they could be seen as a person, an independent person walking in the street alongside their friend. And I might be the DSP. See how normalizing we're making that situation that used to require me to be holding on to their belt? I need a 4 in the question box if you're following me. You're picking up what I'm putting down. Next slide, Eric. Oh, time is flying. Eric. Okay. Okay, very good. So this is the beautiful thing. I like support coordinators, case managers, coordinators of care to understand that tech first doesn't really mean tech only. See, sometimes as human beings, we be like, oh, we all in or we all out. or you got to do it all the way, you're not going to do it at all. That's not what tech first means, and that's not how I want you to walk away from this thinking. Tech first is just that we think about technology solution. What are we actually doing? We are assessing someone's need and then looking for the appropriate technology that could meet that need. And where the technology is not either not accessible or doesn't exist yet in our world, there's a lot of technology that exists, but it may not be in our world, or it's too far away based on where the person is currently at, we can create hybrid situations. So when we approach that conversation about, hey, I know that there's technology that can help you do that independently or help you do that more independently. Would you like to explore it? That doesn't mean that I immediately surround you fully by technology to the point that you only have technology. There are some people who prefer that, actually. I work with people who have gotten themselves to be fully supported remotely, and they love it. They wouldn't want any way different. They never wanted you in their house in the first place, but they have gotten that self. Then we have people who are hybrid users, meaning pieces of everything. Because what we are essentially trying to produce is an ecosystem where it's no one size fits all, but assessing their need, looking at what they currently need, want, desire, outcomes, and matching the appropriate technology that we're aware of or that we have researched or that is available to us to that particular need. Then developing all the other excess supports around them, your add-ins. This may be staff, this may be a natural support, this may be a family member, this may be a neighbor, this may be other forms of intervention, clinicians and the like, that will fill in those other needs where technology either is not appropriate right this second or is not available, or the person is trying to work on one thing and we want to give them enough space to learn. So we are essentially coming to the table with the idea and the excitement around it that technology is a wonderful solution. How many people, let me just see who I got in here. How many people, if you are a from the beeper generation, I need you to put a 4 in that chat, in that question box. Beeper, Beeper. Let me see if my tribe is in here. Stephanie, you better put your stuff in here too. Beeper.
I did.
Yes, Michelle. Yes, Michelle. Beeper, Lisa, Alice. Okay, I see my people. I see me gente. Yeah, so this, if can, okay. Now, I'm gonna take you there. So if you, all the 4s that y'all all see in the question box, all these 4s know the pain of getting in contact with someone if you're from the beeper generation. How you used to let somebody know that they need to call you right now. Right this second, I need to talk to you right now. Let's see if people is faking in here about being 4s. How? Michelle, Stephanie, you already know. Look at it. Look at my tribe. I want y'all, if you're not in the 4s, I want you to check out how we used to have to do this, right? So that means that we had to utilize the number pad on our phone to type in 911. 911. And then that message would then show up on a beeper. Hold up. It would show up right here. That's my beeper, y'all. That's my beeper from 1988. But anyway, it would show up on the screen. then that person who received that text, that beeper, that page that said 911, tell them what you had to do next. What did you have to do next? The person who received the 911. Paulette, we are from the same block. So you had to go to find a payphone, which means that you needed some coins. You need to walk around with coins in your pocket. Your pockets were always heavy because you had coins. So that you find a working payphone to drop the coins in to call back the person that was beeping you 911. Only for them to say, I was just checking to see how you was doing. That's how it went down. So, and yes, it was 10 cents. Then it got to 25 cents. We used to make a call for 10 cents. You had to have coins. You had to have your dimes. And you got a little bit of time to talk. So you had to have extra coins because you had to add time onto it. Now, that whole process might have taken 20, 30. And if you could not find a working payphone or you didn't have coins with you, then maybe an hour. And you done pissed off the person that was beeping you 911. Relationships got destroyed because of the beeper system. I'm gonna let you know that. Now, today, we have text, cell phones. We have the ability to see where someone is right at this second. We have the ability to communicate with them immediately, to know that they read it, to know that they received it, for them to respond, to go on FaceTime or WhatsApp. And we have immediate communication and access to people utilizing basic technology. I want you to imagine trying today to go back to this beeper. Ooh, Paulette done brought up the walkie-talkies. Nextel walkie-talkies. Shelley said, no, thank you. No, thank you. If you, and people who are not of the beeper generation, you can't even imagine, even though I just explained it, what that took. You can't even imagine. You don't even have coins. Gen Z doesn't have coins. So when we talk about the reasons why we want to make sure that we include this conversation of technology first, that we understand that there are benefits. If everything I just explained to you provided you the benefit and how we evolved from there, then you understand. Can you imagine if anybody that you're supporting on your caseload is still on a beeper? Yes, that would not be, it would not be inclusive. It would not be bridging the digital divide. It would not even be tech first. So bringing up old tech that's no longer relevant in today's world is not tech first. So our goal is to move beyond just thinking about compliance. Well, I got to read tech first. No, what are we doing? Tech first is really today's way of saying inclusive in the community. Tech first is the new way of saying inclusive in the community. You know that we're required in our person-centered planning processes to have community inclusion. And today, where is the community? Put in the question box, where is the community at today? Is it still 100% outside? On Simone, online. The community is a hybrid of outside and digital, online, right now. Which side of the community are we in? Come on, I need communication in this thing. Like I said, I'm beeper generation. That means we talk to each other. Where are we at right now? We're in the virtual online community. We're currently in the digital community. So if the people on your caseload, if you are the responsible party, the future builder for the person on your caseload of ensuring that they are included in the community, ask yourself, have you given them the keys, HCBS setting rules? Have you given them the keys, HCBS settings rules? Have you given them the keys to get into this community? Ask yourself that. Ask yourself that. Once you answer that internally and you understand what I'm saying, then you understand that that conversation is essential for the people on your caseload. Essential. Next slide, Eric. Essential for that. So when you're doing this, you're walking into the room, you're calling the family, you're talking to the person, you're doing all these things in the circles of support because you are in your process of discovery, finding out how the person can get in and be included in their communities. How? I see Paulette said something. I'm going to see it in a minute. How people are engaging in their communities. So, being a tech first state, Maryland actually has technology as a solution in its waiver. I'm going to get to your question at the end, Paulette, so I can fully understand it. We good? So, because I want to get deeper into what is it that you mean. But it supports innovative thinking or looking at ways. Now, it may not be fully, I don't know no state where people are getting their full body robots for $20,000 a pop yet. But after we get a few Temu robots on the scene, then we'll be able to afford it within the assistive technology waivers. But for now, in every state, it's not just Maryland, there's a limitation to the amount of money they can spend. But the amount of money is there. So first, let's use that amount of money, meaning let's see what we can introduce to that person's plan of care, their person-centered planning process that would get them to utilize those funds and go towards their level of independence that they want. But as case managers, as coordinators of care, as leaders in this process, we must be in the forefront of bringing up that conversation. We need to explain it. Maybe not explain it in 45 minutes like I'm doing, but explain constantly that technology is a solution and a pathway towards independence. Even, give them some examples of beepers and old cell one big cell phones that were this huge. Give examples of how we would never be able to get that cell phone in our pocketbooks. Actually, I go so far back that I had the one that had its own carry bag. But we're not going back to that. We need our phones to fit in our pockets, in our pocketbooks, in our bags, in our front pocket. We need it to be in our hand. We don't need it to be huge. So helping family members understand that technology has a space for everyone, and everyone should be in the space of technology. So, yes, I'm seeing the question. Okay, go ahead. Next one, Eric. Ooh, Stephanie, time is going by fast. Okay. So here are the 3 core areas I want you to think about as you approach an IS or a person-centered plan. I say ISP, person-centered plan, support plan, PCP, positive profile, all these because I work across the nation, but they all mean the same thing. It's the plan that you write to help somebody live their best life. But you're going to ask the question early: what technology is already in use? Include, so that you don't get your mind faded on only thinking about Android products or Apple products or little robots or little dog robots or anything. What technology? Think low tech. Do they use glasses? Do they use assistive reading devices? Do they use apps on their cell phone for helping them to read out loud? Do they, all kinds? What technology is already in use in this person? Because sometimes we don't realize that they're already using some forms of technology. And me just explaining that my glasses are a form of technology even helps a family member understand that they're already using forms of technology and thankful for that technology that is in play. Act creatively. What would make your day easier? Give me in the question box now. Give me some technology that you're waiting to show up that would make your life easier. I bet you I already seen it at the CES event. But what technology? Ask yourself these questions, because we all are the same. We may need different things, but we're all the same. We all are waiting for that one thing to help us make our day a little bit easier. Whether or not you have a disability, that doesn't matter. It could just be out of pure laziness that you want some technology to help you deal with this. And then use technology as a discovery tool, not as an add on. What am I discovering? I'm trying to unlock something in this person. I'm trying to unlock their talent, their skills, their contribution, their ability to work, their ability to work independently, their ability to live independently, their ability to control their home themselves without having to play the guessing game of a DSP as to what that person wants. They're able to communicate with family and friends. It's not an add on that you just stick in there. It's a tool of discovering and unlocking who that person is and what do they want to be and contribute to their environment and to their worlds. I can't wait to see what y'all put in here about what y'all need technology. Oh, Shell, you just need a third screen. That one's an easy one. Okay, well, let's go on to the next slide, Eric. So within the technology, I'm trying to watch the time. Within the technology domains, life domains, I like to look at it in these kind of categories. This is not rocket science. This is not a science to this. This is how I like to approach it. I am a person that is assistive technology trained by CSUN from California. So I like to look at it in domains. I like to look at people's lives and domains so that I make sure I cover all of their holistic self. So I like to look at employment, where most of us come from employment first designations. So therefore, I need to make sure that I look at their need to be gainfully employed so they can earn the money that they want to pay for the lifestyle that they want. I need to look at their health and wellness. I need to look at any medical conditions or any potential conditions. I need to look at whether or not they have seizures and see if I can get them a seizure predicting watch. I need to look at the areas of health and wellness, because all of this doesn't matter if somebody's not healthy and well in their best health or in their best wellness. I need to look at communication tools. I need to look at assistive communication devices or augmented communication devices, or I need to look at any technology that can help with different patterns of speech so that they can speak on their own behalf. And then I want to look at their home environment. I want to look at ways for them to have full ability to control their temperature, to be able to have a full night's sleep without people interrupting them, to be able to control the door lock, to be able to open and close doors, to change their television, to cook their food without burning themselves. I need to look at those things. So these are the domains that I suggest. You don't have to. There may be more. You may even want to separate them out more. The good thing about this is that there are no specific rules. You just need to make sure that you approach it. Next slide. So I like to make sure that we start adapting our language, how we speak. Go gadget. All right, that just popped up. Sorry, yeah, Monique. Um, Go Gadget arms. I'm familiar with those too. They actually exist. They're called robotic arms. So sample outcome language. Instead of saying wants to live safely at home, doesn't everybody? We want to say wants to explore independent living using remote supports to maintain safety while home alone. See that complete thought process of understanding what the technology is essentially trying to assist with, fill a gap with, or address the need to the overall outcome. The person doesn't want you in their house, they want to live alone. So here's a way that we can look at this from that. And we are going to be strength based, tech inclusive, and very specific, like I just told you. Strength based, not they can't do it, so we got no, what we are trying to do. So if the person has stranger danger, like they don't recognize strangers before opening a door, a ring doorbell or a video doorbell is a great way to assist somebody in doing that without invading their space. But what am I saying? I'm not saying I'm putting the bell in there because they can't do it by themselves. I'm putting it to encourage and enhance their ability to identify stranger versus someone they know. See the difference? Next one, Eric. I'm going to cover all of this stuff just so you know. I know we're down to the
I
eighth.
was gonna say we're at the
Yeah, I
7:45.
yeah I see the timer picking up, but I want to make
Okay.
sure I don't have many of the questions, those kind of big questions coming in. Um, I want
I
to
don't
try to
see
get
any questions right now. Just a
yeah
few comments that you've already addressed.
yeah. So where tech belongs in the person-centered planning process. If you heard everything I said, where does tech belong in the person-centered planning process? That's a question. Give it to me in a question box. Write it down. Where does it belong? Pre-planning, yes, in the very beginning. It belongs right now. It belongs today. Today, right now, as you're thinking of the people on your caseload, you're thinking about people you have not yet even met on your caseload. That's where it begins. Here with us. It begins with us first. We are thinking in a tech first mindset. So we already are thinking, okay, I got to make sure I ask these questions about, yes, Alice, the planning throughout the PCP. Yes, all of that. It belongs in every single step. But first, it must start right here with us. Ask tech first questions. You know the way I help people that either work with me or I engage throughout. I tell them to ask those same questions about themselves. When you walk around your house, ask yourself the same question. This is what helps to create a tech first mindset. This is what helps to create that tech first culture. This is what helps to develop the tech first language that you must have in your head. Because it's so easy to go to the traditional and just go with day to day. But if you start walking around your house and be like, I wish I had something I could vacuum this floor, you already know the answer. Well, you should. There's robot vacuums, right? Oh, I wish I had something. You know, a dishwasher is technology. Back in the day, my grandmother said that we was the dishwashers. When dishwashers hit the scene, she said she didn't need one because we was the dishwashers. That part was true too. But dishwashers is another form of household technology. Ask yourself these questions. Explore how the person already uses technology and introduce enabling technology tools very, very early. Something as simple as people getting an email, or something as simple as somebody having a button, or somebody as simple as having a, I don't want to say her name, but Alexa, remote to control the TV. Those are very small ways to introduce technology into someone's life. So I don't want you to always think big tech all the time. We some people will get there. Most people just need to be introduced if they're not using any form of technology so that they get used to it, their family gets used to it, their DSPs get used to it, their environment gets used to it. Always use tech inclusive language. Like I just said before, these are things you already have this list, but these are things you want to make sure they get included when you're writing the plan as well. You want to make sure that you clearly, very specifically say the outcome that the technology is attempting to address. What the need, the outcome, the desire, because everything should be leading towards a level of independence or 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 stopping skill regression. Include tech supports in your authorization and use the real life justification. So this is an example that I use because we use a lot of remote supports, equal independence and staffing relief. Relief of the person from the staff. Because I'm going to tell you this right now, speaking on behalf and being an advocate for the people that we support. They don't like you in their face 24/7. Guess what? I don't like nobody in my face 24/7. You don't either. So when we have an ability to put out these kinds of things and utilize technology, we actually help to reduce anxiety, stress, frustration, even sometimes behaviors due to the fact that I don't have somebody in my face 24/7. I could turn my own TV. I could answer my own door. I could cook my own food. I could control the microwave. I could do these different things by myself, and therefore reducing that stress and anxiety of somebody always in your face. And then as you go through the planning process, as what cousin Alice said, that we're going through the planning process, and then we're saying throughout the process, what's working, what's not working, what needs to be tweaked a little bit, what needs to be developed more, what things we can expand on because we're doing so great here, or what things are we missing as the circle of support to help this person utilize this more independently. These are questions that we want to ask. Remember that technology, tech first, technology, innovative solutions is not a service line. It's a tool for people's freedom. Next slide. I think we're gonna skip this one because I kind of went into it deep. Yeah. So we don't have much time, but I'm gonna give one example of a smart stove and a remote support. So I have this person that I work with, and she wanted to. Cooking is her thing. She liked it because she liked to eat, but the concerns of mom and the circle support was that she might burn the stuff down if the staff aren't there. So we introduced a smart stove. I'm not even going to name drop. I don't even want. A smart stove. It is lots. And this particular stove has a built-in camera on the inside and a burn turn off, and built-in recipes, and the ability for me to send recipes if I'm remote or mom's remote or somebody off site that of new food that she wants to cook, and send it directly to the oven. And it has a screen on it that has pictures that shows her each step of the recipe and follows alongside with her. So by introducing this, first with the staff present and everybody learning how to use it, then slowly titrating the staff back, and the staff were far away, they're not in the kitchen, she using it, and then the staff completely removed for dinner. But remotely, Precious, is looking at my screen, and I'm looking at the food that's in the oven, and we're having a full conversation. Ooh, that looks good. What? It do look good, don't it? And we already followed the steps together. We already did all of that. And then I can say, oh, the food is done. I'm still even there providing support if she wants. Eventually, she got to the point where she was like, I'm good. She pieced me out, and I no longer am there with her unless she wants to show me something new. Or she tells me that I got a new, Shelly, you want one? Me too. It's super cool. It's super cool. And it can't burn. The food can't burn. If it starts to indicate there's something, and you can cook different things on one platter. You could have potatoes over here and it's cooking everything in its own thing. And it will stop cooking over here when that's done, but keep going with the other stuff. Man, I'm telling you, we all need one. But I'm providing remote support. She's in her home. I'm still providing safety and security. She's living her best life and she's still eating and no fires. That's a good example of how I have removed now someone being in her house to cook. She's cooking on her own and she has that freedom because of the technology that's in place. Next slide. These are common concerns um, that you will have to deal with. One, what happens when the families are hesitant? Like I'm normalizing it with you. You just witnessed me normalizing it for you. I said we were family, right? Said that in the beginning. So everything I said to you was on purpose to normalize the conversation about technology. And I even shared with you a success story. And be willing to reach out. If you don't have demos, reach out to people who have stuff. I have stuff. You can always reach out to me. My contact is on the last slide. Understand that we are a community of support and help. Understand that we are here to make sure that the conversation is normalized, that we bridge the gap, that we bridge the digital divide. We make sure that innovation is a solution, that we bring people to the table and listen to what their needs and outcomes and desires are. Figure out what technology needs to be brought in that can fill that gap. Don't bring in 100 pieces of technology at one time. Help people learn and be successful with it. Everybody needs a win. Share success stories, share the wins along the way. Be willing to tweak the program if it's not functioning the way you thought it was. Nothing does. If that was the case, we all would have been canceled out a long time ago if we got a one and done. Make sure that we empower people to live their real life. And remember that we're writing plans for future independence. We're actually creating space for even ourselves in the community. I always leave people with this. We are all temporarily able. If we live long enough, we'll need some solution to help us continue to survive and maintain a level of independence that we want. What we're investing in when we introduce Tech First as a solution is the future that will be available for us when we get there as well. Eric, what slide are we on now? Is that the last one? Yeah. So I put my information there. I want to see, Steph, do we have any questions that I missed?
No, I think you've addressed everything in the comments.
Well, if I did miss something or something here, I put my information here because I've always availed myself to be able to answer any questions that anybody might have. I've also put in a tool that I created. It doesn't cost anything. It's just a tool to help you prepare and help families prepare. You can share it. It's free. There's no attachments to it at all. It's just a tool on how to prepare yourself for an enabling technology environment. And if you have questions, you can always reach out to me. I hope to be able to come and visit you guys more in the future. I believe that this is a very important conversation, and I have dedicated the rest of my future life to talking about it and making sure that we maintain innovative solutions for the people we support and stand in that gap.
Thank you, Precious. We got 3 minutes. So I want to thank you for joining us. It was wonderful presentation. I hope everyone got something good out of it. I want to add one other resource is remember we have the Maryland Department of Assistive Technology libraries that you can visit if you want to know what's available. So please reach out, and they're all over the state. They're not just in Baltimore. So if you go on their website, you could pull up the map where those are. Again, I want to say we appreciate each and every one of you. And thank you for all the hard work you do. And again, thank you, Precious. And I hope everyone has a wonderful rest of your day.
Keep innovating.